I don't know when he got that command center, but if he just got it right now, that is just ridiculous because he didn't need a double expand. In fact, at any given point in this game, he shouldn't have put down that command center because he was never, the game was never far enough for him to double expand. Looks like he has gotten a tank on the ledge there. Three Dragoons coming out for the Protoss player. Protoss players also decided to expand himself. Interesting enough, neither player likes workers very much, but they love nexuses and command centers. They have a thing for building lots of them. Very interesting. Maybe it's just a pre game over ceremony. I don't know. Like, let me build a ton of command centers so I can humiliate you with my command centers. It looks like the Protoss is not going to be able to push up here. He's fighting to kill this command center. Command center is going to live though. Terran player replacing his SCVs out of two command centers, which is going to help a little bit. Uh, I think by now, though, his economy has recovered. And the Protoss player not producing probes, really falling behind here. And I think the APM difference is showing right now. The Protoss player is just having trouble coping with the multitasking when he's only got maybe one action per second, 1.5 actions per second. Not enough to play a one-on-one StarCraft. Excuse me there. Right now it's definitely the Terran's game. I think, even though he lost almost all of his SCVs, he did the same thing to the Protoss player, and his reaction afterwards was clearly superior because I mean the Protoss player could not get rid of just a couple of vultures inside his base, whereas the Terran eventually took care of those reavers. Well, I mean he didn't necessarily move his units as fast as he could have, but he did sort of take care of them later on, and he turned out to be all right. So Terran player has pretty much recovered in his SCV count, still not mining gas though. Protoss player, meanwhile, getting pushed back a little bit here from his positioning. It definitely is smart for him to try to prevent the Terran from expanding at all costs, because he knows he can't let the Terran take an economic advantage in this game, especially because I'm not sure what he's doing in his natural. He's not mining there, evidently. He is not even constantly producing probes at all of both of his nexuses. He really needs to be doing that. And oh my God, this is not going to be good for the Protoss. He's gotten surrounded by a bunch of vultures, so nice vulture play by the Terran player. In general, I've been pretty impressed with his vulture play. He managed to kill a bazillion probes with them. We'll see if he remembers to kill his mines, so his tanks don't eventually get detonated. So also he can land his own command center. He's getting a starport also right in front, interesting enough, and trying to micro against one Dragoon. Decides not to let that work. Um, Terran player has sieged up and looks like he's going to kill his mines so he can land that command center. Protoss player continuing to build Dragoons. Finally, he's also building some probes. Very important, of course. And, I like his opening strategy. He did a considerable, ridiculous amount of damage. In fact, with his shuttle drop, dropping those two reavers and basically pulling a stork almost, nuking the Terran's command center. However, if he had only held his ramp, he would have been fine. I don't understand why he didn't hold his ramp, and instead he was trying to push out, got his zealots killed by mines, and now he's way behind because he also let just a couple of vultures take out everything inside of his base. So here we're seeing him put down another gateway, his second gateway finally, and he's at 29 food count against the Terran's 50. Terran obviously has way more SCVs than the Protoss has probes, and here we're seeing looks like the vultures are going to get chased away here by the Protoss player finally. Hello there, Scandid. And Terran is now on 3 bases. The Terran, who also really likes expanding, has finally managed to get his expansion up and decided to stop building SCVs at his main. He should be continuing that pump, of course. He's at 3 factories. He really can soon afford to put down maybe like 6 in total, and also an armory would be nice. Not sure why he's gotten this early starport. I guess it's probably for drops, although, to be absolutely honest, he really doesn't even necessarily need drops to get into the Protoss' base. The Protoss is pretty much just allowing him to go anywhere he wants. The natural expansion is completely hosed right now, and yeah, looks at, wow, that Vulture taking out 2 Dragoons there with a mine, and 1 shot from his grenades. So the Protoss player clearly is in huge trouble. I have no idea how he can possibly come back in this game at this point. It was very spectacular for about 2 minutes, and then afterwards it's been kind of underwhelming play from the Protoss. looks like the Terran is going to be allowed to put up, yeah, 6 factories total. He's got a dropship coming out. He's probably going to go for another Vulture drop. And the Protoss player is finally trying to rebuild his probes again. Looks like the Terran going to put up a missile turret to spot for another expansion going up. Maybe the Protoss is waiting for 400 minerals so he can put up another Nexus without sufficient probes to justify it. Who knows? Third gate going up for the Protoss. Protoss player just really in huge trouble this entire game. We'll be moving on after this to, I think, at least one other Star League commentary, so do stay tuned for that after this game. And right now, we're basically watching a game between, like, Flash and The Rock here, or Flash and Backhoe, Lita and Backhoe, whatever. A really good Terran versus a not-so-great Protoss. And here we're seeing the Terran player manage to get in with some more Vultures, although this time his harassment isn't amazing. He still, well, gets them in. Not really doing much. But he's probably going to set up for a drop soon. And when he gets that drop in, he's going to be able to kill just every probe there. And that's just going to be pretty much game for the Protoss player. Looks like he hasn't loaded anything up yet in his dropships. Meanwhile, he's gotten his bases pretty secured. And yeah, it looks like 6 factories up for him. No armory, though. I would recommend to him to get an armory at this point in the game. Get your upgrades starting way earlier, in fact. He probably just forgot, though. And looks like the Protoss player, I don't know if he's suspecting a drop coming, but he's sending a couple of Dragoons to the back of his base, which is a smart move. He's also got an Observer there, so he might be able to take care of this drop here, although, really the Terran is going to have to do something catastrophically bad to be able to lose this game. 3 base against 2 here, and the Terran player so far has seemed, while he's not responding to the drop in his main was rather poor. So far, he seemed rather consistent in his play. Rather, just overall, has a good head on his shoulders. Has figured out really how to beat this Protoss player, and really the Protoss is looking a bit outclassed here. Terran player, I think, probably just scanned Prime right now, and we're gonna see the yellow AColderWar going in pretty soon with his 2 tanks and 8 Vultures, and I don't even know if there's enough army for the Protoss player to take care of that, plus the forces coming up from the front of his base, and the Terran's also expanding into the Protoss's left side base. Is just absolutely silly. Looks like the Terran has drawn some of the forces forward into the natural expansion, and he's probably going to use this as a diversion. There are those dropships. They're going to go into the Protoss's base right now. The Protoss has 2 Dragoons there. Let's see if this is a properly executed drop. Looks like he is going to drop right in the minerals. Very nice positioning there. He just needs to siege up, and that will probably prevent any sort of reinforcement from coming in. The Protoss player trying to get up his ramp. Oh, that's going to be a massacre there. I think he's transferred some of his probes. I don't even know what happened to most of his probes. I guess he didn't have that many to start with. And this is going to be a game really soon. I don't see how the Protoss player can come back from this. By the way, this game doesn't last 5 hours. This is just covered by Storm plugin. So, yeah. It looks like the Protoss player is going to lose this game almost certainly right now. I don't see him possibly coming back. His main base completely screwed over, and really the Terran player had this game in hand from the very moment the Protoss player left his natural expansion open. He's getting a Reaver, interesting enough. The one major mistake the Protoss made was leaving his ramp. And there was no reason to attack when he was going to go for that Reaver harass, especially if he wasn't able to multitask. He should have known he was unable to, multitask. And GG coming from Prime. Game over. Prime losing his main base. Not good. So University of Chicago picks up this first set, or rather I think this was set 2 of that series, but not sure who eventually won. But if any of you guys go to MIT or UChicago, thank you guys for providing us with an entertaining game, both players almost killing each other. And for everyone else, I hope you enjoy this cast, and do stay tuned for more Collegiate Star League action coming up soon. This is Cholera signing out.